Okay, so hello. We're going to do face painting for Boreas, although we're pretty much this is the sort of technique that we're using for Marina and Boreas, and we're doing a sort of uniform look using stencils to give a sort of basic shape on your performer's face. We have a left and a right, which is always handy, so they don't get too people's faces don't get too dirty, and there's not too much cleaning. So we can use this one here, use this one there. And we have our water-based paints and a little bottle with water and some sponges and some glitter, a brush or two, and some big wipes and serviettes. And usually an apron is good or something to wipe your hands on. Yes, okay, so we start off, we're going to use, for some reason it says left but it's not, the right hand side for Kelly's right hand side, right? No, it's her left. Yeah. So it's right, left. Right. So this stencil is labelled left. We're going to use it on the left side of the face. And we're doing a blend of 3 colours today, although you can have 2-way blends or just 1 colour, although sometimes it's nice to mix the colours. So the first thing you do is you load up your sponges with water and you make sure they've got their colour on them, so you're not trying to do this while you're working with the stencil. And you make sure it's all nice and ready for you to use. And right, so we're going to start with the darker colour first. And we're just going to line up the sort of point here. And we've got this little space for an eye. Just line it up so it's, I might try and avoid her hair as well, would be good. Let's see. No, don't worry. I always should carry those things with me, you know, but I don't. Headbands and things. Don't worry, I think we're there. I'll just avoid that little point. And we'll actually be quite lucky because normally we're wearing headdresses, so most of this will be chopped off anyway. So what we do is we start with a sponging on, stippling, so we get the colour on Kelly's face as best as you can. And what I'll do, because it might move around a bit, I'll just blend the top and then I'll blend the bottom. So do a little bit of dark blue to give it definition, a bit of lighter blue just to sort of give it a bit more life, and finish off with this gold sheen type stuff. And then the same underneath. So I'm just holding it in so it doesn't shift too much, because sometimes that's quite hard to keep that. And I don't actually know what Boreas's character is, but he's supposedly a bit more rigid and he looks like some kind of Roman soldier type person. So we've got this sort of rigid type soldiery makeup stencil shape to look like it's part of his band. So again, the same sort of thing. Maybe it's a bit more blue there. And a bit more gold now to finish off. And then, oops, you get another sponge, just dry. Lift your glitter or just pop it into the glitter and then just sprinkle some of that on top so you get a nice glittery finish to it. There you go. Hopefully you peel your stencil off and hooray, you've got a nice shape. Which is nice and easy to use for lots of face painting, fast and furious in short spaces of time. And then what we can do now is finish off with, if you want to, finish off with a little bit of line work. So you put a wee bit of water in your face paint and you sort of mix it up so it's nice and creamy. And then what we can do is we can look where it might need filling in. So what we'll do is try and fill in this little corner here where we didn't get with the stencil. So if Kelly, would you close it? And can't really see that, can you? And what I'm doing is I always rest my hand, my little pinky, or just on so my hand's not wobbling, because sometimes it's hard to get a straight line. And then maybe we can just add a little bit where it might need lifting, so we could just do this edge. And actually, if you look up, hopefully that hasn't flipped. I'm just finishing here as well with a bit of eyeliner. Oops, sorry. Do you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to just fix that little bit up there because it's got warp by it. So let's have a look what we can do with that. And if you just close, no, it's alright. It was just a bit wet, so I'll just link it into this one. I think that should work in a way. It's a bit blue, but it's okay.
So give it a bit of time before.
Yeah, give it a bit of time before you.
Let it dry.
Let it dry. But I think from far, it's going to look great. And then we can sort of tidy up that little bit up there as well. Just make a little point here. And you could carry on forever, really. So it's all dependent on how much time you've got and how many people are waiting.
Mm-hmm.